Um, Ever feel like you're just scratching the surface of your potential, you know?
Oh, absolutely. Like, what if there's a key, maybe just a simple phrase, to unlocking a much richer life?
Exactly. And that's kind of what we're diving into today, this idea of I am consciousness.
And its connection to ancient Vedic wisdom, right, from the
Yeah.
Upanishads.
Yes. We've been digging into this really interesting source, the Upanishads and the power of I am consciousness.
Ah, the one that blends the old philosophy with, like, modern neuroscience.
That's the one. It weaves it all together, ancient thought, neuroscience, psychology. So our mission here is to pull out the really key stuff for you.
So you can get a clear handle on how this simple I am can actually be a tool for, well, real personal change.
Precisely. It's about understanding how consciously using I am can help shape your reality, move you beyond those old limits.
A journey, really, away from limitations.
Absolutely. And by the end of this deep dive, you should have a solid grasp of what I am consciousness is, where it comes from in the Vedas.
And how it lines up with things people talk about today, like law of attraction, subconscious reprogramming.
Yeah, and even those quantum leaps in identity people mention. It's going to be fascinating to see the links.
Ancient wisdom, modern science,
Yeah.
often saying similar things, just in different languages.
So true. It makes you wonder why these ancient texts still hit so hard today, doesn't it?
It really does. There's a timeless quality there.
Okay, so let's lay some groundwork. The Upanishads, our source, frames them as the mystical conclusion of the Vedas, the ancient Hindu scriptures.
Right. They're less about rituals and more about the deep questions of the nature of the self, Atman, and the universe, Brahman.
And the absolute core idea, which can sound a bit paradoxical at first, is non-duality.
Meaning Atman and Brahman, they're not separate.
Exactly. They are fundamentally one and the same. It's this idea of underlying unity.
Wow. Okay.
The Chandogya Upanishad puts it beautifully. Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma.
Which means,
All this indeed is Brahman. Everything you see, feel, think.
yeah.
It's all, at its root, just one infinite awareness.
That's a huge concept to wrap your head around.
It is. And this is the foundation for what they call Vedic manifestation. The universe isn't just dead matter. It's a living field of consciousness.
Okay.
And when your inner awareness, your sense of self, aligns with that universal awareness, that's when you tap into creative power. By recognizing you're part of it all.
So it's about moving beyond the everyday ego, that small sense of I.
Precisely. Moving from the small I to the great I am the I am that is one with everything.
That makes sense. A shift in identification.
And the Upanishads constantly point to this, like the famous teaching, Brahmasmi.
That thou art. I've heard that one.
Yeah, also from the Chandogya Upanishad. It's a teacher telling a student, basically, you, your true essence, are that. You are Brahman.
Wow, very direct. No ambiguity there.
Not at all. It's saying your deepest self is the cosmic essence. And then there's Prajanam Brahma.
Which means,
Consciousness is Brahman, from the Aitareya Upanishad. It highlights that pure awareness itself, the simple fact of being aware, is the ultimate reality.
okay, so these big statements, these Mahavakyas, they're like the pillars supporting this whole I am idea in Vedanta.
Exactly. They declare that the real I inside you isn't small or stuck, but infinite and, well, divine.
So for you listening, when you say I am anything, you're actually tapping into this universal
Oh,
essence.
that's the potential, right? The Upanishads nudge us away from using I am to reinforce limits like I am tired or I am bad at this.
And instead, use it to align with this deeper truth. I am peace. I'm capable.
Precisely. To align with your true nature, which is infinite.
And that's where it connects to things like the law of attraction, maybe.
Definitely. If your inner state shapes your outer world, then recognizing your I am as unlimited naturally pushes out fear and lack, right?
Yeah, it creates space for, well, for abundance, for positive experiences to flow in. Makes sense.
And building right on that foundation is another huge Mahavakya, Aham Brahmasmi.
Aham Brahmasmi. Okay.
Our source really zeroes in on this one as the most direct statement of I am consciousnness.
Let's break that down. Aha, that's I. Yeah.
Maha is I. Brahma is that absolute reality, the universal consciousness.
And Asmi.
Asmi means am. So put it together.
I am Brahman, or I am the absolute. Wow, that's quite a statement of identity.
It's considered the ultimate one of Vedanta. And it's not just theory. The Brihadaranyaka Upanishad has this amazing passage.
Oh, yeah. What's it say?
It describes the original cosmic self basically waking up and declaring I am. And from that very first I am, the sense of multiplicity of otherness arose. so the one could experience being many.
So the universe itself kind of started with an I am Brahman thought.
That's the essence of it, yeah.
Yeah.
The one knew I am Brahman, and that knowing manifested everything.
So the teaching is, if we know I am Brahman, truly know it.
We wake up to our oneness with everything. It's not just an idea, it's treated as a powerful mantra, something to transform consciousness.
And embodying it.
Right.
What does that feel like? What's the effect?
Well, Vedanta suggests that as you really contemplate Aham Brahmasmi, that feeling of being separate starts to dissolve.
The boundaries get blurry.
Exactly. Fear, doubt, limitation, they lessen as you remember you're actually that infinite awareness behind it all.
Our source compared it to flipping on a light switch in a dark room, didn't it?
It did. A great analogy. Suddenly everything is illuminated. Realizing I am Brahman shifts your whole identity to being the source of that light.
And this impacts the subconscious, the part that runs on old beliefs.
Absolutely. Our source calls Aham Brahmasmi the ultimate belief. I am limitless.
Yeah.
When you embrace that.
It starts reprogramming the subconscious, overwriting the old I am not enough stuff.
That's the idea. And that's what sets the stage for these quantum leaps in awareness and manifestation that we mentioned.
Okay, so this is powerful stuff, but how do we actually, use this? How does I am consciousness show up in daily life?
Right, moving from philosophy to practice. Well, one very practical way our source highlights is using conscious I am affirmations.
Affirmations? Okay, like positive self-talk.
Kind of, but maybe deeper. Think about how often we say I am throughout the day, consciously or unconsciously.
Yeah, probably a lot. I am busy, I am tired, I am...
Right. And those statements, they program our minds, don't they? Often reinforcing things we don't actually want. I am stressed. I am a failure.
Yeah, guilty as charged sometimes.
So the practice is to consciously choose empowering ones. I am strong. I am abundant. I am love. I am healthy.
And from that Upanishadic view, doing that aligns your personal I, your aham.
With Brahman, the fullness, the potentiality of reality, even in these small, deliberate statements.
And science actually backs this up. The source mentioned neuroscience.
It did. It references work from, I think, Old Dominion University, talking about neuroplasticity.
The brain's ability to change itself.
Exactly. Repeating these empowering I am statements literally helps rewire your brain. It strengthens the neural pathways associated with those positive states.
So it's not just wishful thinking, it's like mental exercise.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. A Psychology Today article mentioned in the source actually uses that analogy affirmations as exercise for our mind-brain.
Helping us learn to think differently, rewire old circuits.
Precisely. Think of I am affirmations like installing new code, upgrading your mind's operating system.
Because the brain is always listening, right, to that inner dialogue.
Constantly. So consistent, uplifting I am statements start to overwrite the old limiting beliefs. Subconscious programming becomes conscious power.
And this mirrors the Vedic practices too, like mantra.
Absolutely. The Upanishads talk about sankalpa, which is like a firm resolve or intention and mantra repetition for purifying the mind.
So treating Aham Brahmasmi or I am peaceful as a mantra, it's using the same ancient tech, basically.
You got it. Which leads us right into the subconscious mind itself, that powerhouse.
Yeah, the source calls it the engine behind our habits, our automatic reactions, where all those deep beliefs live, the operating system.
And yoga philosophy has concepts like chittavritti, those negative thought patterns, which the source compares to weeds in a garden, right? Taking root in the subconscious.
Makes sense. And the Upanishads, the Bhagavad Gita, they say the mind can be your best friend or your worst enemy.
Exactly. And they offer tools to work with it. Meditation, yoga, mantra, the sankalpa we mentioned. Always reprogram it for your benefit.
And again, science is nodding along. Neuroplasticity confirms. Repeat thoughts, change your brain.
Right. The ODU guide pointed out, it's not that saying words changes the outside instantly, but research shows that positive thinking can rewire your brain, changing the way you feel about things.
And there are studies showing self-affirmation lights up brain areas linked to self-worth, resilience, stuff like that.
Yep. So each time you consciously state, I am, something positive, you're firing up new circuits, strengthening the positive pathways, weakening the old doubt-filled ones.
So what are some specific tips for this reprogramming? The source has some practical ideas.
It did. Using powerful mantras was key. Treating Aham Brahmasmi or another core I am, like a sacred phrase, repeating it often.
And setting clear sankalpas, those heartfelt intentions, stated in the present tense, right? Like when you're relaxed.
Yeah, like before sleep or in deep relaxation. I am open to abundance. It's like planting a seed.
And the feeling part, that seems
Hmm.
crucial. Not just saying the words, but feeling them as true.
Definitely. Emotion amps it up. Also, daily rituals, writing them down, maybe mirror work, saying them to yourself in the mirror.
Yeah, the source mentioned mirror work can amplify the effect, and just meditating on the feeling of I am, pure awareness.
Yes, that's a classic Upanishadic practice,
Yeah.
just resting in that basic sense of being before labels.
And what about Dr. Joe Dispenza? The source brought him in,
Right. His idea that your personality is just the sum of your I am stories.
and he suggests visualizing your future self and rehearsing I am statements from that perspective.
Exactly. It's a powerful way to bridge the gap. You focus on I am creative or I am joyful, and you literally grow the neural pathways for those states.
So modern science and ancient wisdom are describing the same process. Focus your mind, change your being, meditate on the self until you become it.
Precisely. Which brings us to this idea of quantum leaps in identity. What does that mean in this context?
Well, it's metaphorical, obviously, not literal quantum physics, but using the idea of a sudden big jump.
A radical shift from feeling limited to feeling expanded.
Exactly. A jump from a restricted self-image to one that aligns with your true potential.
And the Upanishads, with Aham Brahmasmi, basically offer that ultimate leap.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's the shift from seeing yourself as a tiny drop to knowing you are the entire ocean. That's a quantum leap in identity if ever there was one.
And there's that interesting parallel with the observer effect in quantum physics.
Yeah.
The idea that observing changes reality.
Right. So the Upanishadic view suggests that as you are Brahman, your intentions, your beliefs actually influence the reality you experience.
So if you adopt an I am identity that already embodies what you desire, I am healthy, I am prosperous.
You're not just wishing, you're aligning with how reality works, according to this view. Tuning into the law of attraction, tapping into potential realities.
Like tuning a radio, the source said. Tune to I am lack, you get static. Tune to I am abundance.
You start picking up that signal, and maybe things shift quickly in leaps because you're being it, not just chasing it.
Yes, being it, not getting it. That feels key.
Dr. Dispenza talks about that too, right? Creating a new self-image collapses the old timeline, accelerates you into a new one.
It really resonates with yogic ideas too, like samadhi, that merging of individual awareness into the cosmic flow. It's that same sense of unity.
It's incredible how consistently these ancient ideas and modern science seem to point in the same direction.
Isn't it? The parallels are striking. Neuroscience shows meditation and self-inquiry, core Upanishadic methods, genuinely rewire the brain for clarity, for well-being.
And the studies on neuroplasticity showing that sustained focus, like repeating a mantra, physically changes brain networks.
Yeah, and that Psychology Today idea of our self-narratives being like brain programs.
And changing them with affirmations, with I am statements, is like inner alchemy. Changing lead to gold, metaphorically.
And we know affirmations activate reward centers, self-relevance areas in the brain, reinforcing that positive identity, making the subconscious go, oh, okay, maybe this is who I am now.
Like the I am peaceful example, training the amygdala to be less reactive. That's a real neuropsychological effect.
And it links back to the law of attraction, doesn't it? Inner shift changes perception, changes behavior, attracts experiences that match the new state.
And Spence's focus on meditating beyond the analytical mind to implant that new identity.
It sounds so much like Mahavakya meditation, deeply becoming I am Brahman or Soham until the separation fades.
It really seems like know thyself from the ancients and train your neural networks from science are just two ways of saying the same thing.
Absolutely. Two languages for the same transformation. Okay, so for you listening, wanting to put this into action, what are the concrete steps?
Right, the practical takeaways. Our source laid out 6 clear steps. Number 1, daily I am affirmations.
Just saying them, morning and evening.
Yeah, aloud if possible. Empowering phrases. I am prosperous, I am creative, I am divine. Or silently repeating mantras like Aham Brahmasmi or Soham in meditation. The key is impressing the subconscious.
Okay, number 2.
Meditate on the self. Spend quiet time just focusing on the feeling I am itself without adding anything to it.
The basic sense of existing.
Exactly. Gently returning to that simple I when thoughts wander, noticing the spaciousness. It's pure Upanishadic practice.
Got it. 3.
Set sankalpa, heartfelt intentions. When relaxed, state a firm, positive resolve starting with I am, like I am aligned with my true purpose, or I am radiating love. Planting those seeds in the subconscious again, like sowing in fertile soil, the Vedas say.
Nice. 4.
Align with Ritam cosmic order. Basically, live in tune with natural cycles and your own core values. Ritam meaning right action, cosmic flow.
Yeah. Intentions that honor universal harmony tend to manifest more smoothly. Aligning with deeper laws boosts creative power.
Makes sense. Number 5.
Gratitude and grace. Cultivate genuine thankfulness for what you already are and have your body, life, consciousness itself. Remembering it all arises from Brahman's grace.
Keeps the ego humble, heart open, creates a positive feedback loop.
Exactly. And finally, number 6.
Mentors and inspiration. Seek out teachers, books, resources that bridge science and spirit. Keep learning.
Like the source's manifestation through the Vedas guide, or wisdom from sages like Swami Sivananda.
Right. Sivananda said something like, the purified mind is the most dependable weapon. A calm, focused mind is fertile ground for these new I am truths.
So consistent practice with these small steps. That's what leads to the breakthroughs, the quantum leap.
That's the idea. Vedic manifestation in action through steady effort.
So wrapping it up, this power of I am consciousness, it's really about rewriting your story, isn't it?
Fundamentally, anchoring yourself in who you truly are now, this divine present identity, instead of being stuck in past roles or future anxiety.
And that is the essence of the quantum leap in identity, realizing you're not just the character.
You're the author, the infinite consciousness experiencing the story.
And both ancient wisdom and modern science seem to agree. When your I am clicks into that highest truth, everything shifts.
Embodying Aham Brahmasmi, or any true I am, invites, well, maybe miracles. It aligns you with that abundant, orderly cosmos.
It reminds me of the Bhagavad Gita saying, act, do your duty, but don't be attached to the results.
Yes. Act as if your identity, your divine nature, is already complete, because from this perspective, it is.
So let go of the striving, inhabit your I am.
And you start flowing naturally with life's gifts. The law of attraction stops being a struggle and becomes just how things are, your nature.
So the final thought for you listening, just remember this. You are not some small self rattling around in a big universe.
No. You are the vast self within which the universe unfolds. That's self-realization, as the Upanishads teach.
Embrace the power of your I am. Seriously embrace it and just watch how the cosmos aligns with your true being.